Hi guys, it's Kirsten here with Nursing Delights. Today I have a video for nursing students. I wanted to highlight things that you can do in nursing school to snag your first interview after graduation. These are things that I did while I was in nursing school to help me grab an interview after I graduated. My situation was a little unique. I went to nursing school and graduated and then moved across the country, literally from Georgia to Tucson, Arizona, and I didn't know anyone. All I knew was my significant other. So for me, I thought to myself, how can I make myself stand out in nursing school that will only better me when I graduate? So I wanted to share these tips with you and things that I did to help you so you can get your nursing job and get your nursing career jump started. Okay, tip number 1, volunteer at a clinic. When I was in nursing school, I volunteered at a clinic for the underinsured or uninsured patient population in my area. It was an invaluable experience. I learned how to work with doctors and nurse practitioners. I learned how healthcare worked, how Medicare and Medicaid worked, and most importantly, I was providing direct patient care, which is invaluable experience outside of the realms of clinicals and nursing school. It also shows to employers that you're willing to put the time in and willing to go the extra mile to really get a grasp about nursing and how to provide patient care. So one of the ways that I was able to find the clinic to volunteer at was through my nursing professor. She was volunteering at the clinic and she mentioned it one day in class, and I wanted to be a part of it. So I emailed her and got the contact information and called. And the next day I was there volunteering. And when I mean volunteering, you don't have to volunteer like 12 hours or 20 hours a week. I volunteered 4 hours a week, once a day before one of my classes. And that was enough. That was enough for me. If perhaps your teachers or faculty doesn't know of any volunteer opportunities, and you can always go online and do an internet search of clinics, especially like homegrown clinics that are serving the underinsured or uninsured. They're always needing volunteers and people. So just go out there and try and do an internet search or network with the faculty or your professors. Something will come up for you. Tip number 2, join your school's ANA nursing chapter. And ANA stands for American Nursing Association. For me, that was really helpful because I was able to network with other nursing students in my area to see how my school was involved, and it also allowed me to decide to choose if I wanted to be, how involved I wanted to be with my ANA chapter. Nursing school is time consuming and time is very limited. So at the very least, you can pay your dues and just be a member of the chapter. To a employer or nurse recruiter who's looking at your application, they see that you are a part of this association, which shows that you're progressing, or you're willing to have a professional membership. And that shows to them that you care about nursing. So I joined my ANA chapter. I went to meetings, I networked with people, and at the end of the day, I had that on my resume. Tip number 3, get direct patient care. And I don't mean volunteering, I mean through a job. And how I did this was I became a CNA. I worked as a CNA about a year before I even considered applying to nursing school. And I worked in home health. It wasn't the greatest job, but you know what? I had direct patient care experience, and I was able to learn how to care for people and to relate to them and talk to them. When I went on my job interview, I highlighted that I worked in home health because it allowed me to see how people, when they're discharged from the hospital, the struggles or things that they need assistance with at their home. And I talked about that and how that could help me relate to my patient care. So perhaps for you, maybe you can go and get your CNA license. It takes not very long at all. You can do it in a summer, or if you're able to swing it, they have night classes, you could do it at night classes, and you can get a job as a CNA, maybe at a hospital during the summertime, or home health like I did, or a rehab facility. There are jobs out there. Perhaps you don't want to become a CNA. Maybe you want to be a phlebotomist or an RT, respiratory therapist, or a paramedic. Those are still great options that show employers that you are willing to get experience as outside of your clinicals and outside of nursing school and providing direct patient care. And it will make a difference about your experience versus someone who doesn't have any experience in the market of jobs. Okay, so tip number 4, get experience in customer service. I worked in retail for about 4 years before I applied to nursing school. It was really great experience outside of the realm of healthcare. So if you're in nursing school, maybe you're just in like your first semester, even if you're in college, you're just starting college, working a retail job is a really great way to get experience in customer service. And maybe not retail, maybe waitressing. It's very applicable to healthcare and nursing profession. In retail and waitressing, you're on your feet. You have to manage your time. You're talking to customers. You're having to sell them a product. You're representing the company that you work for. And really you learn good conflict resolution skills. All of these are transferable to the nursing profession. And I think when I was applying for nursing school, it really helped that I had it on my resume because it shows exactly what I just said, and you can translate that to your interview, or you can put it on your resume, these skills that you have, or even your cover letter and highlight them. But it's just little things like that that you can do to help grab your interview after you graduate. Tip number 5, network months in advance. And when I mean months in advance, maybe like 6 months before you're supposed to graduate. Start looking at hospitals. Start researching hospitals in the area that you want to work. Maybe try and find a human resource number, a nurse recruiter phone number, or an email. One of the ways that I did was I just applied to a job. I was completely unqualified for it. I had no direct nursing experience. I think it required like 2 years. I didn't even have that. I was still in nursing school. I didn't even have my license. Like, completely unqualified for it. I applied for this job, and I'm so glad I did because the nurse recruiter contacted me and said basically what I just said. Hey, like, you're not qualified for it, but you know what? We have a nurse residency program that I think you would be really good for you to apply to. And that was awesome to hear back from her because I was able to have a point person for communication at this hospital that I didn't even know. It was across the country. And she was able to ask me questions and I was able to ask her questions, and it was a direct communication person for me. And that's, like, it's hard to come by. So try and start networking early. And you have to be diligent. Not everyone's gonna be as lucky as I was and just receive an email from a nurse recruiter. But the point is, be diligent, start early, and follow up. And your hard work will pay off and someone will recognize it and you will get an offer for an interview. So the last tip I have for you is use your school's resources. One of the things that I did was I went to a resume building workshop, and it was so helpful. I sat down with this person and she completely revitalized my resume. It was very boring, and then after she got her hands on it and worked her magic, she really made my resume stand out from everyone else's resume. And I'm so glad she did, because when I moved to Arizona, I was competing against new grads whose program had a resume workshop already built into it. So they were getting their resumes created already in their program, and my program didn't offer it. So it was just another way for me to really stay up to date with trends on resumes and how to make my resume stand out in a job market that is just full of new grad nurses. So these are just some tips that you can use while you're in nursing school to help set yourself apart. When you graduate, you're going to be applying to jobs that a lot of other new grads are going to be applying to. So if you can just have one thing on your resume that's a little bit extra that kind of sets you apart, it'll make the world of difference and help you get an interview. And I really hope that these tips can do that for you. Nursing is a wonderful profession. It's a wonderful career. And grabbing the first job it's the hardest. But once you get your first job and you get that experience, it's just invaluable. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if there's a bunch of background noise. My dog was playing in the background, playing with the little squeaky toys. If you have any questions, you can comment below. I'll respond to them. I also have a Twitter. It's @NursingDelights. And I'll put the information below. And then I'm also going to be starting a blog soon as well. And I'm going to expand upon this topic, go into more detail as well. So I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you so much for watching.